Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you guys are having a good week. We're excited for this Friday cocktail today. I'm excited for this Friday cocktail today. In fact, I was thinking about in prepping this drink. This may be the one I'm most excited about of the ones that I've never made before in the last few weeks, where we've been kind of sampling some new stuff. What are your thoughts?
I've made this one 100,000 times. I love it.
For sure.
It's a good one because it's light, but it's also not like a light fruity one. So it's a little bit different because I feel like sometimes when we say we need a light cocktail or you want a gin cocktail, we always end up going fruity and over ice and just, gin sour. This is not that. It's still light and it's still gin based, but it's also a little bit sweet. So it can be like an after dinnery kind of dessert drink. I like it. I've used this one when people come over and they say, I want gin and I want sweet.
So like a nightcap. So funny that you said nightcap, even though I just said nightcap. You actually didn't say it, I said it. But funny that you made me say nightcap. I have some pretty cool history on this drink, actually. I'm actually as excited about the history of this drink as I am actually in tasting this drink.
I'm shocked to know you have nerdy facts for us.
I have nerdy facts, and I even have trivia for you too.
Okay.
Actually, it's not trivia, it's more of just it's more of a quiz for you. I guess I should first announce the name of the drink. It's called a 20th Century, and it's named after a passenger train, a one-time passenger train that was going between Chicago and New York from the early 1900s through 1967. But it wasn't just a passenger train. It was actually sort of an opulent, kind of like, I think I read somewhere, sort of like a first-class passenger train. They had sleeping cars, they had a dining car, a library.
So what you're saying is in order to go on this train, you had to be of a certain lifestyle?
You always find a way to get that word in there, don't you? Yes, this is certainly a lifestyle cocktail back in the day. What I found most interesting about this name, aside from it being a mode of transportation, and that's my quiz for you, by the way, what are two of the drinks that represent a mode of transportation?
Sidecar?
Yeah, there's probably more than two, but there's two that come to mind.
Come back to me.
I'll come back to you. Anyways, I like your thinking pose.
Paper plane.
Ooh, that's good. That's actually not what I was thinking of, but that is a micro version of the macro term that I'm thinking of.
Aviation?
Aviation. Bonus points, especially for your thinking. You did this. Basically did this. That was good. Anyways, what I'm most excited about, there's actually a really cool little trivia story here. So as part of this whole opulence in the barbershop and the library and the dining car, two things. One, the dining car at night turned into a nightclub called Club Century. So it was like a private club that flipped from a restaurant after its final course. So I think that's kind of cool. But in order to access, yeah, it's pretty awesome. In order to access this car, you would walk across a red carpet, which then became known as having red carpet treatment.
Is that where the red carpet came from?
True story.
I like that nerdy fact.
That's a nerdy fact. That's a good nerdy fact.
That is cool. I'd like to give you props for use of the word opulence because I like that word.
It's a good word. So that's why I'm excited about the history of the drink. I'm actually excited about also incorporating white creme de cacao. This is like my new favorite, like liqueur, subtle edition of the bar. It's nothing fancy. I'm not using it every day, but with a white old fashioned I made with mezcal, which is quite delicious. What did we make earlier last week with it? What did we do?
We did. We used it in the s'mores.
Yes, and even that, which I had low expectations for, was actually pretty good for what it was.
Well, I like it a lot, I think, because you need just a very small amount.
Yeah.
Goes a long way. And it doesn't feel heavy. Like it doesn't, like it's not a big brown, heavy sort of dessert. Like sometimes you think of a chocolate dessert as like fudgy and like really rich. And it doesn't come off as super rich. It still is very light and you can use just a tiny bit and throwing it in. And you see the other ingredients we've got going on. It's super light. It's a vermouth and gin and lemon. It's really light. It's nice.
Mm-hmm. That's a really good point. And I would say for those of you out there that have not bought your creme de cacao, I know a few weeks back when we introduced it, we said you really should get white. If you have dark, you could use it in a s'mores. This is not a drink you want to use, a brown creme de cacao. So even more reason, if you haven't bought it, go get a white one. And it's inexpensive. I think it's like $18. So I think all the brands are under $20. So and it'll last a while. So
it'll last forever.
Let's put it to the test. What do you think?
Okay.
Our favorite Shakerton.
But while we're doing this, we decided we did want our glass pre-chilled. So yes. Go ahead and get your glass chilling while you combine all the ingredients. only 4 of them in your shaker.
1.5 gin.
Any gin I think will work there.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm using Forge because it's really my go-to for
A nice neutrally gin.
It's 3/4 of everything else. So Lillet, which, as a reminder, and as it clearly says in the back, keep chilled. So when you're done, if you open a new one, chill it afterwards.
If you don't have Lillet,
Which a lot of people don't.
which a lot of people don't, and this is a weird one because it actually does call for Lillet. All of the recipes I have found for this actually do call for Lillet specifically. But the closest thing to Lillet would be, what, like a Dolin Blanc?
Yeah, Blanc.
Because Lillet is a little bit sweeter than a regular dry vermouth.
Vermouths can be kind of tricky. I'm still getting my arms around a lot of vermouths, but Dolin is one you can find actually a lot of grocery stores, believe it or not, certainly liquor stores. But it's one that is a white vermouth or a clear vermouth, but it's not the one with the green label, it's the blue label. So
Right.
It's clear, but it's still sweet, but
Yes,
not sweet
and-
like brown or dark.
Correct. Correct.
So-
Don't do that. You have to do the clear, but do go sweet on this. Lillet is French, whereas most vermouths I think are Italian.
Like all of them, keep them refrigerated. And then we're going back to 3/4 of the creme de cacao. And then lastly, 3/4 of lemon. Fresh as always.
Get some fresh ice and shake it.
This is where Ricey and I disagree a bit. So while Ricey likes to make her lemon juice like fresh right there on the spot, I tend to do, like if I know I'm making some drinks, I often will take, I have a juicer and I will take 5 or 6 lemons and squeeze them. I don't like having them sit for days and days, but maybe like a day ahead of time, just so it's easy to get if you're making multiple drinks. So when I do that, I actually fine strain it at that point. So it also makes things easier. So like right now, I'm not having to fine strain it. So just an idea. Again, if you do it, you don't want to do it, let it sit for the week. It's like 24 hours is good.
Wow.
That's a good pour. It's like, okay, that's pretty good. It's actually more refreshing than nightcappy right now. I think it's delicious. It's very refreshing. It's nightcappy, but not as much as it is refreshing. So that's my only, I could say I'm disappointed. I was expecting to be a little more boozy and more like something you'd want to drink after dinner. I think this is actually a really good aperitif kind of cocktail.
I think if you want to make it a little bit boozier, just take down the lemon a little bit.
And don't chill the glass. It's just not so cold and.
Yeah, don't chill the glass and take it to 1/2 ounce of lemon.
Yeah, good call. How are we garnishing today?
We're going to garnish with a very schmancy lemon peel. That's my very opulent lemon peel today with my red clip. And that is my 20th century cocktail.
So my lemon looks like it's from 1902. So no, it was really like embarrassingly ugly. So I was able to scrounge one little side of it. I cleaned it up a little bit, squared it off, and it's just gonna be a little dinky lemon peel on top, but it works.
I mean, what I need to remember to do is peel it for the garnish and then squeeze it for my cocktail.
Yeah.
Okay, this one's gonna be good. I think that this is a nice one also to have a couple of, I think. So you guys can have a couple of these tonight, a couple of these tomorrow, maybe Sunday, who knows? We are putting up the shopping list to have some stuff for you for next week. It's gonna be a fun week next week, and we are looking forward to it.
See you guys, have a good weekend. Cheers, Rice.
Cheers, Jason.